You are listening to Pure Perception, a podcast that gives you insights and learnings from microachievers. I am Revanth Anupoju, and I love to learn from other people's experiences, shortcomings, and apply them to real-time scenarios. I hope this podcast connects with you in a deeper level. Hi guys, welcome to Pure Perception, episode number 16. Firstly, thank you all for tuning in this podcast. And this week I have Raaga Katta joining me on the pod, and we're going to talk about a journey from being a talent curator to a freelance illustrator. Hi Raaga, how are you doing?
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I am great, Ray. How
So
is life?
life is going good. So నీ లాక్డౌన్ ఎలా ఉంది? లాక్డౌన్ 4.0 ఎలా నడుస్తుంది?
Lockdown 4.0 నడుస్తుంది అంటే నడుస్తుంది. But then lockdown is great because anyway freelancers గా we don't have to go out much. So anyway ఇంట్లోనే ఉంటాం. Lockdown, no lockdown, there is not much difference. Actually, because things have shifted, everything has shifted to digital కదా now.
Yeah.
So in that way, lockdown has been great for me. Work-wise, it's been great for me. Otherwise, like మామూలు ఎప్పుడు ఇంట్లో ఉంటాం.
Perfect. So, like what are significant differences నువ్వు ఏం చూసావు ప్రీ లాక్డౌన్ కి అండ్ ఇప్పుడు రైట్ నౌ?
నిజానికి నీకు ఈ ఒక ఫేజ్ జరిగింది గుర్తుందా, బిఫోర్ జియో ఆఫ్టర్ జియో అని. కాంటెంట్ క్రియేషన్ ఇట్ హిట్ ద రూఫ్ కదా. ఐ థింక్ సేమ్ చేంజెస్ ఇప్పుడు కూడా అవుతుంది. కాంటెంట్ క్రియేషన్ ఇస్ అగైన్ గోనా గో హిట్ ద రూఫ్ అండ్ దిస్ టైమ్ మేబీ ఇట్ విల్ స్టెబిలైజ్.
పర్సనలీ నాకేమనిపించింది అంటే ఈ లాక్డౌన్ లాక్డౌన్ ముందు నేను ఒక ఫినిష్ లైన్ లేని రేస్ లో పరిగెత్తేవాడిని. రైట్ నౌ ఇట్స్ లైక్ అ మ్యారథాన్. నువ్వు చెప్పినట్టు ఈవెన్ ఐఎమ్ క్రియేటింగ్ లాట్ ఆఫ్ కాంటెంట్. ఈ పాడ్కాస్ట్ కానీ ది కాంటెంట్ ఎట్లా అంటే లైక్ మోస్ట్లీ ఇన్సైట్ఫుల్ కాంటెంట్ క్రియేట్ చేస్తాం. చాలా టైం దొరుకుతుంది టు థింక్ అండ్ బీ క్రియేటివ్. రైట్,
చాలా టైం దొరుకుతుంది అండ్ a lot of people are creating a lot of different things. So spectrum broad అయింది. It's great. It's great for creators.
Creators. Yeah. So before diving in, like give us your background, Raaga. Nee background cheppu.
Okay. So to start about my background, we have to start pretty early. Endukante academically I had a lot of uncertainties. So starting off inter lo unnappudu I wanted to do MBBS. Also I think I'm kind of an explorer since the beginning. Kani I didn't understand. Dora type kaadu, anta self aware kaadu nenu.
Okay.
So by the time I understood, అప్పట్లో నాకు మెడిసిన్ చేయాలని చాలా ఉండింది. Then I tried, I was a BPC student. Then I tried giving in MSET, giving other entrance tests, but then didn't clear anything. Because interlo, to be honest, అసలు చదవలేదు. Also I revolted. I'm a Chaitanya product. So వాళ్ళు చదువు అంటే I revolted. So that didn't work. Then I became an engineer. My engineering is in biotechnology. And as usual, like any other engineering student, exam mundu roju chadivi I passed. All the papers I cleared off. I chilled for 4 years nicely. Didn't do placements. Didn't even take placement training. Nothing. Then I came back home. Intiki vachaka, then it hit me. What am I going to do with life? నాలుగేళ్లలో not even a day I thought about what after these 4 years are going to be. So then when I came back home, I then again started exploring different opportunities. This exploring different opportunities I did at every stage. 10th tarvata chesanu, inter tarvata chesanu, engineering tarvata kuda chesanu. But then I wanted to get into designing. Kani like a typical Andhra kid, I didn't know if designing had money in it. So also I thought it will take a lot of time. There'll be a lot of competition and all of that. So I thought safe untadi, we'll do MBA తర్వాత ఏదో ఒక జాబ్ చేయొచ్చు. అప్పటికి because all of my friends was earning by then already. Lot of them were placed campus లోనే. So దాంతో I was also running behind money. అంటే you run behind money throughout your life, but then that was only money. ఇంకేం బుర్రలో లేకుండే. అందరు సంపాదిస్తున్నారు, నేను కూడా సంపాదించాలి. So అలా I did MBA. My MBA is in logistics and supply chain management. And as HR and marketing as minors. మూడిట్లో ఏది సరిగ్గా నేర్పలేదు, దట్స్ అ డిఫరెంట్ కేస్. బట్ దెన్ మై డిగ్రీ హ్యాస్ ఆల్ దీస్ 3 థింగ్స్. అండ్ దాని తర్వాత మై కాలేజ్ డిచ్డ్ us in getting core jobs, getting us core companies. సో లాజిస్టిక్స్ ఏం తీసుకురాలేదు వాళ్ళు. బయటకు వెళ్ళి ఎతికేంత సినిమా మనకు లేదు. I got into HR. I never wanted to do recruitment. HR ante I thought generalist guy is still okay. Recruitment was very narrow down and very monotonous అవుతుందేమో అని అనుకున్నాను, but then didn't give much thought because got placed, డబ్బులు వస్తాయి ఇంకేం కావాలని I went.
Okay.
So I started working for almost a year. I worked and found out I'm very bad at it. I can't do desk jobs any. So then I quit. And again the same exploration process started. And then yeah, illustrations become a thing.
రైట్. సో నీకు ఎంత టైం పట్టింది రాగా టు రియలైజ్ దట్ ఇది నా కప్ ఆఫ్ టీ కాదు? ఐ మీన్ యూఆర్ డూయింగ్ హెచ్ఆర్ గా వర్క్ చేస్తున్నప్పుడు లైక్ నీకు ఎంత టైం పట్టింది టు రియలైజ్ దట్ దిస్ నాట్ మై కప్ ఆఫ్ టీ అని?
ఒక 4-5 months, maximum 6 months, because అప్పటి వరకు I was very into కొత్త జాబ్ కొత్త roles. I'll close off roles as soon as I like my sourcing game was good, right? So what is it, I'll source and they'll get placed అనుకున్నా, but then your fate also depends on their fate. వాడికి ఆ కంపెనీకి వెళ్ళాలని ఉందో లేదో, దాట్ యువర్ హోల్ గేమ్ డిపెండ్స్ ఆన్ దాట్. సో దాంతో టూ మెనీ కర్మాస్ క్లాష్డ్. సో ఏది వర్కౌట్ అవ్వలేదు. సో and then I explored different roles lopale. I was recruiting designers, I was recruiting back and front end engineers. My boss thought engineer kabatti nenu I know everything about computers and engineering ani, but then I'm a biotechnology engineer. Adi evaru artham chestara maku. So yeah, then I understood I was bad at it. I was very bad at it. And I was like, no, this is not my thing, I should change ani. Then again, as usual, I started exploring. But then before this, I had started making illustrations as a hobby. Like how I tell people, when I started making illustrations for the first time, I didn't even know that this is a proper career opportunity. This is a established field, and I didn't know. So when I made my first comic, I thought I made something like this is genius. I've made something out of park, and I thought. But then I later realized this is something so many people do. Already this sea is full, ani. But then I slowly found my niche because I started doing regional comics.
Right. So basically, like what I want to know is, నీ creativity అనేది like నువ్వు ఎప్పుడు ఫైండ్ చేసావు? లైక్ దాన్ని ఎప్పుడు తెలుసుకున్నావు సో ఐఎమ్ క్రియేటివ్ అని?
క్రియేటివ్ అనేది I was creative since my childhood. I used to color a lot. Also coloring is not a big thing, but then when I was 3-4 only, I used to color inside lines. That's a big thing for my parents. They still say. So I was creative. Then engineering lo unnappudu we had our college was almost a jail. We were not sent out asalu. If we have to go, once in a month or twice in a month maximum.
Okay.
And it was away from the city. So మాకేం కొనుక్కోవడానికి కూడా ఉండదు అక్కడ. So every birthday aina we used to make handmade cards and handmade gifts anamata. So that became a thing. I used to make a lot of handmade cards. My cards, I mean like andarki, na roommate ki, na friend వాళ్ళ roommate ki andarki చేసేదాన్ని. So ala it became it was very interesting, like creating was interesting. So but then when I started off illustrations while I was working, I didn't have as much time as I had in engineering kada. So I had to cut it down. Then I cut it down to drawing certain things, and those became comics eventually. That's how I found I'm creative.
We'll talk about freelancing, Raaga. Okay, so if someone wants to start or get into freelancing, so what was the first thing నువ్వు ఏం చేసావు? నువ్వు like, so what exactly that went through అది ఆ ప్రాసెస్ లో?
Okay, so I am normally a very shy person.
Okay.
So basically I have 2-3 personalities in me. One of them is very shy, so I'm very camera conscious. Atlanti position lo this is what I'm talking about, what I wanted to do other than HR annappudu, what my thought process anedi. So I was exploring different kinds of other fields that I can get into, and also I didn't want to do another degree or didn't do another long term course laga. I didn't want to do anything. I was done చదువు అయిపోయింది సాల్ ఇంకా. So atla when I was exploring other options, this was in 2018 lo blogging was at a rage.
Right.
Everybody wanted to be a blogger. So I also thought on that field. చెల్లి చేయగలుగుతామా, మన కెమెరా అంటే భయం, చేయలేము, ఎందుకు మనకు వచ్చింది వద్దు అంటున్నాను. But then think so that's the disclaimer. I think I'm a funny person. So this sense of humor, I wanted to get this out. but I didn't know how. Then I was thinking. Then what happened is I thought, why don't I start making cartoons? Then I didn't even know illustrations ki that there is a separate field anigani, that there is a lot of people doing this as a career aspect. I didn't even think about it.
Right.
When I thought I'll start making cartoons and make them funny, I thought that's genius. That's out of park. Like ఎవరు చేస్తుండరు నేను తోపన్న. So that is normally any Andhra kids thinking levels like, because you have not ever explored anything out of engineering and medicine కదా.
రైట్ రైట్
మనకు పెద్ద పెద్ద దూరం తెలియదు మనకి. సో అట్లా ఐ థాట్ నేనే జీనియస్, ఐ స్టార్ట్ డూయింగ్ దిస్ అని.
ఏదో కొత్తగా ట్రై చేస్తున్నట్టు.
This is something I invented అన్నట్టు. So then when I started doing one or two, please don't go into my Instagram and scroll through. They look really bad. So when I started doing those, they look really bad. But then I didn't even show them to my friends because I know they're bad. Appadi varaku I used to draw, but then mostly I used to copy from somewhere, like some artist's work, something I used to copy. Didn't even think that artist is a person who, I mean, like there is a person behind this art who made this. That person though we have to take a permission అనేది కూడా మన బుర్రకు రాదు, because art is just a community, I mean commodity for us. ఏదో బట్టలు కొన్నట్టు ఇది కూడా తీసేసుకుంటాం. So that is something I used to do అప్పటి వరకు, but then I was good at copying. When I started making things from my memory, akkada I was not great in the beginning. It took a lot of practice. Yeah. So when I started off doing them sontanga, I experienced a lot of challenges. Also, then I used to think taking reference for any artist is very normal. It's acceptable and it's fine. Kani copying is not acceptable. But then my brain then didn't process the difference between the both of them, and I thought taking reference is also copying. Right. So only I thought bringing from my memory, which I failed at. So then slowly when I started doing a research on how other artists work, when I found out there are other artists doing same thing, I started looking at their work and started looking at their process. Then I found out reference తీసుకోవడం పెద్ద తప్పేం కాదు. So atla I started making some art, which then I shared with my friends. They liked. They kind of thought this is something you can show the world annattu. So that is when I started Grey Brains. While I was still working, I started Grey Brains. Eppudo varamlo kudirnappudu I used to draw and post it on Grey Brains. Atla it went on. There were hardly 500, 600 followers. All of them are my friends, of course. And a few of them are my roommates' friends whom she forced to follow. So yeah.
సో రాగా నువ్వు గ్రే బ్రెయిన్స్ అని స్టార్ట్ చేసావు కదా నీ ఇన్స్టాగ్రామ్ ప్రెజెన్స్ కానీ సోషల్ ప్రెజెన్స్ కానీ. సో అది లైక్ నేమింగ్ కి వాట్ వెంట్ త్రూ ఇన్ యువర్ మైండ్, ఆ నేమింగ్ కి మీనింగ్ ఏంటి, లైక్ వాట్ ఎగ్జాక్ట్లీ ఇస్ గ్రే బ్రెయిన్స్?
So it's a impulsive decision, but there is a thought behind it. Okay. It's not like complete random peru. There is a thought, but then I didn't think for long, because ఎక్కువ ఆలోచిస్తే I won't take that leap. పేజ్ స్టార్ట్ చేయడానికి ఒక పేరు కావాలి, సో చాలా ఆలోచించకుండా పెడితేనే పెట్టినట్టు, లేకపోతే నా లోగోలా నాకు ఇప్పటికీ లోగో లేదు, అలానే నాకు ఎప్పటికీ పేరు కూడా ఉండేది కాదు. The story behind Grey Brains is like I normally say, I am a person with multiple personalities. So one of them is very out there, very weird. I wanted to make characters through which I can show this personality. Otherwise, in front of camera to show it out, I'm shy. Kabatti I wanted my characters to do what I feel. So పేరుకు exactly is like how they say none of us are black or white. Like black and white are two extremes kada. All of us are grey. So that is what went into Grey Brains also. I wanted to make characters who are just like us. They're all grey. They're not good or bad. They have all the emotions annattu. So people with grey brains. Yeah, that's how my name came in.
So Raaga, ఇప్పుడు like if you were starting off on social, like digital ga nu starting off something like art ga edaina, there is this thing called personal branding. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So a personal branding build cheyadaniki neeku enta time pattindi, and like how confident were you that I can build ani?
Okay, one thing is I was not confident at all when I started off. I am still not. I have this commitment phobia when comes to things like this. Relationships lo I'm great. When it comes to things like this, I have commitment phobia. Saying if I make a particular character for myself, should I stick to it for life? which is a very hard thing to do because your thought process changes, your interest changes, your skill changes. You might get better and do better things. So, andukani, one thing I consciously did is only permanent thing that is there is my name, that is Grey Brains. Other than that, everything is very temporary. So I keep making new characters for every comic, and I don't have a logo yet. So personal branding will take a lot of time, is what I'm trying to say. You don't have to rush and do it. Anedi is what I learned from my experience. In the beginning, I also thought first ఒక identity create చేసుకుని తర్వాత then you start working on it అని. I mean working around it అని is what I thought. But then when I started off without any identity, it was still fine. So for people to recognize my work when they randomly see it on some other account or someone else's DP, it took a good 8 to 9 months.
Okay.
So 8 to 9 months tarvata, there were people, if someone puts my artwork as their DP or in their stories, there were people telling me, "Idi neede kada." Yeah, so that's the amount of time that might or might not take for personal branding.
Right. Personal branding, it definitely takes time, as you said. But the thing
Yeah.
ఏంటంటే personal branding, when we are getting into like digital లో when we are putting our presence, the first thing that is needed is honesty, I guess. నువ్వు ఏది చేసినా you're not doing it for followers, for likes, for comments and stuff. మనం ఏదైనా చేసినప్పుడు anything that we put out, ఇది నా పర్సనల్ ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ చెప్తున్నా. సో లైక్ ఎనీథింగ్ దట్ వి పుట్ అవుట్ హానెస్ట్లీ, ఇది మన కోసం మన డాక్యుమెంటేషన్ కోసం పెడితే, అంటే మనం పెట్టుకుంటాం కదా జనరల్. ఇప్పుడు మనకి లైక్ 5 years డౌన్ ది లైన్ మనం చూసుకుంటే, అరే మన మెంటాలిటీ ఆల్వేస్ మనం పెట్టే పోస్ట్ బట్టి కూడా వీ గెట్. ఇప్పుడు మన ఫేస్బుక్ లో మనకి వస్తూ ఉంటాయి దీస్ మెమరీస్ అండ్ స్టఫ్, నీకు తెలిసిపోద్ది అరే నేను 2011-12 లో ఇలా ఉన్నాను. సో లైక్ అలాంటి పోస్ట్ పెడితే థింక్ హానెస్టీ అండ్ నువ్వు ట్రూ సెన్స్ తో పెట్టే పోస్ట్లు, రిలేటబిలిటీ. సో దీంతో పెడితే నాకు తెలిసి దిస్ లాట్ ఆఫ్ ఎంగేజ్మెంట్ అని నా ఫీలింగ్. సో పర్సనల్ బ్రాండింగ్ ఇట్ టేక్స్ డెఫినెట్లీ టైమ్. సో ఐ గాట్ దట్ ఫ్రమ్ ఇట్. సో పేషెన్స్ ఇస్ కీ అంటాం.
Patience is key. And another thing I do is all my comics in the beginning were from my personal experiences or the conversations I had with my friends. There was a lot of me in it. Slowly, it kind of became fictional when I also shifted places. And now that I'm home, I don't really have so many funny conversations happening that I'm sure. You can't make stupid jokes with your parents. So that is when it kind of started becoming fictional. అంతకు ముందు వరకు it was everything from my experiences. And still there is still a part of me from whatever I make, but I kind of try and make it a little fictional consciously. So that is something I've been following since the start. I can't okay, I accept that all my comics are silly and like funny, but then those also I make only on the things that I strongly believe on.
Right. So manam కార్టూన్స్ గురించి ఆల్సో ఇలస్ట్రేషన్స్ గురించి మాట్లాడాం కాబట్టి విల్ టాక్ అబౌట్ యువర్ క్రియేటివ్ ప్రాసెస్ లాగా. లైక్ హౌ ఇట్, నువ్వు నీకు ఒక ఐడియా వస్తే, అంటే లైక్ కాన్సీవింగ్ నుంచి దాని ఎగ్జిక్యూషన్ వరకు నువ్వు వెళ్ళే ఆ ప్రాసెస్ మాతో షేర్ చేసుకో. లైక్ హౌ ఇట్ గోస్. అంటే క్రియేటివిటీ దేర్స్ లాట్ ఆఫ్ అప్స్ అండ్ డౌన్స్ అని నాకు తెలుసు. ఈవెన్ ఐ ట్రై టు బి క్రియేటివ్, బట్ ఐ జస్ట్ వాంట్ టు నో, నువ్వు ఎందుకంటే నువ్వు లైక్ డూయింగ్ ఇట్ డే ఇన్ అండ్ డే అవుట్ కాబట్టి.
ఫస్ట్ థింగ్ ఇస్ నోటింగ్ దెమ్ డౌన్. Because గుర్తుపెట్టుకుంటామని how much ever you have your confidence on you, it doesn't work all the time. Much better. So first thing is I note down every stupid thing that I think can be made or cannot be made. Every stupid thing that I like, I first note them down. So on my phone, on random papers, on books, everywhere, I keep noting them down. And when I want to develop comics, that's a different process on a different day now. So noting ideas down will happen throughout. When I'm sitting down to pick from those ideas, I see whatever works for me or whatever might work for Instagram or any other social media. Because there are these restrictions. There are no restrictions, but then I try and follow a few because I don't want to come across as offensive. That is something me as a person took a conscious effort. I also was not at a great phase personally when I started this off. So appudu one conscious effort what I made is anni funny comics cheyali, don't get into serious intense stuff. I'm better now, but I'm still stuck to the same thing. I don't really make anything around intense stuff. Like corona meeda kuda there were a lot of art coming out. There are a lot of comics coming out. I did none. Me as a person is I'm also not very intentional. So I see a idea will work out, a idea will not work out. Then I make thumbnails out of it. Then I sketch them out. So I am a person who use both traditional and digital platforms, both the mediums. So first paper me the I draw and then I scan them and do it digitally. Digital is only for like make the look better. Otherwise, you can do the same thing completely on pen and paper also.
Right.
Digital is a medium for me to make the colors vibrant and do other things. Also, digital is very forgiving. పేపర్ మీద ఎన్నిసార్లు తుడితే పేపర్ చిరిగిపోతుంది.
Right.
So
Right.
that is something I look up to digital. Yeah. So another thing I do is I sleep on my ideas. ఈ రోజు పని అనిపించవచ్చు, రేపు అనిపించకపోవచ్చు నాకు. So I sleep on each of them mostly. And next day ki whole narrative changes sometimes, perspective changes. లేకపోతే మొత్తానికి I can throw it in the garbage.
నువ్వు ఏం టూల్స్ యూజ్ చేస్తావు డిజిటలీ?
So I use this software called Sketchbook by Autodesk.
Okay.
It's a free thingy. Also, it's come inbuilt in my laptop since I've bought this laptop. I've been using that. Also because I didn't want to take the paid versions already before I better my skills digitally. So I'm still using this. This is great. I advise a lot of people to not use this. Like chala mandi Illustrator konali, where Procreate konali, all of that will be there. But then also this is free.
అండ్ నువ్వు వర్క్ చేసిన ప్రాజెక్ట్స్ లో ది బెస్ట్ ప్రాజెక్ట్ కానీ అండ్ ది వర్స్ట్ ప్రాజెక్ట్ కానీ ఏదో ఉంటే చెప్పు.
So when you have a lot of creative liberty and lot of questions were not asked ante, that is something you enjoy working on. So things that you don't like working, or kondaru clients they'll be very stringent on what they want. Naku idi kavali, give me this, which is fine. But then if you're very particular about each and every line that I draw, ఈ లైన్ ఇట్లానే గీ అని చెప్పేటప్పుడు నువ్వే గీసుకో కదా. That is something అంటే ఎట్లా అవుతుందంటే there is no respect given to your abilities. Instead of using a robo, you're using me to draw this.
So basically freedom, నీకు ఫ్రీడమ్ ఇచ్చే ప్రాజెక్ట్స్ ఉంటే you will enjoy.
Financial దీనికోసం you will take up all kinds of projects. Like I was talking about the clients, I have had good experiences and bad experiences. Also ఆ సినిమాలో చెప్తారు వినేవాళ్ళకి అర్థం కాకుండా తెలిసిన వాళ్ళకి అర్థం కాకుండా అర్థమయ్యి కాకుండా అని తెలియదు ఏంటంటే there is this one client I worked with. That person gave me complete freedom. So they gave me requirements maaku that is for digital marketing. So my pieces of art they use for their digital marketing, the whatever the firm is. So this and this is what our mission and vision are. So we want something around this and that's all the requirement they gave me. And of course when I like how I work on it, before I get into before I get into every step ఒకసారి కన్ఫర్మేషన్ తీసుకుంటాను, బికాస్ మళ్ళీ మొత్తం ఐ డోంట్ హ్యావ్ టు రీడూ కదా. సో ఒక్కొక్క స్టెప్ దగ్గర ఐ టేక్ దర్ కన్ఫర్మేషన్, కానీ దే డిడ్ంట్ హ్యావ్ మచ్ చేంజెస్. దిస్ ఈస్ వన్ ఆఫ్ మై ఫస్ట్ ప్రాజెక్ట్స్ బిగినింగ్ లో. సో నాకు మై కాన్ఫిడెన్స్ ఏదో క్లౌడ్ 9 కి పోయింది, because they thought this is great and they really liked it. And till date I think those are my best pieces that I made for another client. నా కోసం నేను చేసుకున్న వాటిలో there are differences, but then ఇంకొకరి కోసం చేసిన దానిలో I think they are my best pieces because I don't know, I put a lot of thought, I was given a lot of time, I could make revisions, I could change things till the end. So that is something I really liked. And another client, so this person might understand I'm talking about it, but then it's okay. Also, if you're listening, please pay me. So this person, what happened is they wanted certain designs, but they had price restrictions in that. So when I started doing every step low, I started taking their confirmation. Kani they didn't like since the beginning only. Is this person wanted t-shirts? Let's go all out. So this person wanted t-shirts. I made them, but then since the beginning they had budget issues. But then they wanted those memes you see, whether the client's budget and what client wants, and their budget will be for peanuts and they'll want hazelnuts,
right?
Which is not possible practically. You want hazelnuts, you have to pay for them, yeah. Also, they also think everything is in my hand, because these were t-shirts. These had multiple the supply chain was there kada in this. This is not something I make with, na cheto నేను చేసి, this is not something I can send them off on make. There were other partners involved. So that is something they don't understand. And because of the price constraints, whatever, he was not very happy with what the output was. But then this is what you'll get in intalo నీకు ఇంతే వస్తుంది అని. He wants colorful things, he wants పెద్ద designs, but then you're not able to pay for that bigger design. Then what is the point of me making it? Anyways the printer will crop it off. Atla in every step we had hurdles. But then this is something I learned in this experience, is when the client is negotiating a lot starting lone, don't do that project. ఎందుకంటే ఒకసారి వాళ్ళకి if the client starts negotiating, that means that he is not respecting your art. So when they have no respect for it anyways, ఏం చేసినా you can't convince them. So whatever you do, they'll be like, then you convince me for this much money, now you are not delivering, this is not worth 5,000, why are you making this? So like ఏం చేసినా it's very hard to convince them. That is what happened with this person also. This person, after receiving the package, also didn't even say thank you, or didn't even say I've received only. So ఇంత నెగటివిటీలో యూ డోంట్ హ్యావ్ టు వర్క్ అని సంథింగ్ ఐ రియలైజ్డ్.
అదేలే, అంటే నువ్వు డిఫరెంట్ ప్రాజెక్ట్స్ చేస్తే నీకు డిఫరెంట్ ఎక్స్పీరియన్సెస్ వస్తాయి, సో దట్ యూ కెన్ ఇటరేట్ నెక్స్ట్ టైం యూ డోంట్ హ్యావ్ టు రిపీట్ ది సేమ్ ఎర్రర్స్. సో రాగా విల్ గెట్ ఇంటు ది నెక్స్ట్ టాపిక్. అదేంటంటే విల్ టాక్ అబౌట్ ఆపర్చునిటీస్. సో ఆపర్చునిటీస్ గురించి మాట్లాడే ముందు ఐ హావ్ వన్ ఫేవరెట్ కోట్ ఆఫ్ ఆల్బర్ట్ ఐన్స్టైన్. సో అదేంటంటే in the middle of difficulty lies opportunity. So the context ఏంటంటే everyone in their life wants to become large. మనం కూడా we want to grow కదా, we want to grow. True. And it's very much important to take the right opportunities.
Right.
Okay? So what's your perception on opportunities and finding right opportunities?
So when I started off, because I had low self-esteem with respect to my work, not otherwise. So appudu what I thought is something evantaru vision of your startup antaru atla I thought I'll take up and do any or every opportunity that knocks my door. Chinnadi peddadi medium size, nothing barriers emi lekunda I'll do everything ani is something I have thought. Right. So that I stuck to till maybe last month, I guess. So I've been doing all kinds of work, free, paid, anything, any collaboration, anything that comes. People ask me, "Ichestava," I'll do it. So then, in this experience, what I understood, not all of them are the right opportunities, and not all of them will teach you something. The time and effort that you put into all these opportunities might not be fruitful later. And also because you're saying yes to multiple things and not able to cater time to each one of them, not able to justify to each one of them, there is no point in that. If you're not able to give your 100% time, skills maybe I try and put 100%, but then time, because you get tired as a human being, it's not possible. So choose wisely అనేది something I'm starting to understand. In the beginning, there is this thing that normally all engineers and management students do when they are finishing off their degree. They list out a lot of companies and start bursting out mails saying, "Ma degree ayipindi, maaku udyogam kavali." So this is something all of them do, which I didn't do as a BTech grad gani, as a post grad gani. I didn't do this. I was a different on different dimension. I didn't want to work. I didn't want to do anything. So the same thing, I don't know if people in my field do it, but then I applied the same thing here. I started picking out small startups. Small startup anedi how you will understand ante with the Instagram account. So you'll see how many followers they have. You see how the content is. If you will understand if they already have a designer or kada. So I picked up such funny startups and I started sending them out mails saying I started freelancing. This is my portfolio. I can do so and so. So please give me work if there is anything in my capacity. And that is the same time I parallelly started telling people around me actively that I've started freelancing. So in the beginning, I didn't know how opportunities come manaku, how they opportunities ave ela vastayi anedi I didn't know. So I thought we should go chasing them. So this is something I did. But then with my experience, what I understood is finances wise, you have to try and explore different income streams and find a few passive ones, few active ones, and start working on them parallelly. So if one is stagnant, the other will help you. So for example, if you are taking up commissioned work, another thing you can do is have your line of merchandise or something because if you have no commission work, okaro iddaro at least will buy your merchandise. This will happen parallelly, continuously. This will happen parallelly. So oka nela oka dani nunchi saripoyina inko nela inko dani nunchi find different income streams మీ ఫీల్డ్ లోనే అనేది సంథింగ్ ఐ అండర్స్టూడ్ విత్ ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్.
బట్ అట్ ది ఎండ్ ఆఫ్ ది డే మనకి ఎవడు వచ్చి మరి నాకు చేసి పెట్టు, ఐ విల్ గివ్ యూ సో అండ్ సో నో, అలా మనకి ఎవడు వచ్చి ఎలాంటి ఆపర్చునిటీస్ ఇవ్వడు. వీ నీడ్ టు గో.
చాలా తక్కువ అలా జరిగేవి.
మనం వెళ్ళి వీ నీడ్ టు hustle around.
Yes.
Perfect, Raaga, and thanks for that insight, and hopefully it will be helpful for our listeners. So let's get into the game segment, Raaga. I have a small game for you. Adentante P2 game. So P2 game entante I'll give you 3 words. A 3 words you have to tell me what you associate with it, or else nee perception ento cheppali dan gurinchi. Okay, your first word goes like doodling.
Freedom, because you don't have to stick to any boundaries. Do whatever you want.
Okay. Todd Gadu.
Todd Gadu is my brain child. Todd Gadu is my other personality. So what all I can't say. See, Todd Gadu says things like Raaga Topu, Raaga nak life ichindi. This is my self-elevation personality, which I can't bring out because people think I am some maniac. So I make Todd Gadu do all of this.
Right. And last one is like, Raaga, what's your pure perception? And like, what do you think that pure perception to you?
So perception is something that keeps changing, I believe, with experience.
Okay.
So another thing is not to have notions. Right. Notions lekunnapudu you can build your perception manchiga. I mean, like a pure perception annattu is something I follow.
Perfect.
Because my conceived notions will not take me anywhere.
Perfect. So we are getting into the last segment of the podcast, and at the end of the day, we'll talk about the art scene in the Telugu states.
It's getting better every day. Like a lot of people are starting off. Telugu states annam kabatti something intaku mundu there were Telugu comic makers only on newspapers and magazines. Social media lo there were none. Okay. So I can probably call myself one of the first generation social media Telugu comics. Yeah. So now I see every day new people coming in. Also people that attend my workshops, a lot of them also start doing, maybe my influence is rubbing off. I'll take credit for it. Maybe that is happening, but then a lot of them start making Telugu comics also. Because there is a large market rate Telugu comics ki. And also for any regional language, what I say is, because a lot of us migrate and immigrate and all of that, we strive, like we crave for anything and everything that has to do with home, our culture, our language. Because Bangalore lo unnappudu also I used to get really happy when I see or read something in Telugu, or when I listen to people who talk actual Telugu, not the Bangalore Telugu. Actual Telugu lo maatladinappudu I used to get very excited. So which my MBA brain is now capitalizing on.
రైట్, ఎగ్జాక్ట్లీ. ఇప్పుడు నేను కూడా ప్యూర్ పర్సెప్షన్ ని లైక్ లాట్ ఆఫ్ పీపుల్, అంటే మన స్టార్టింగ్ నా ఫ్రెండ్స్ విన్నప్పుడు, నా ఫ్యామిలీ వాళ్ళు విన్నప్పుడు వాళ్ళు ఏమన్నారంటే, అరే ఎందుకు తెలుగులో చేస్తున్నారా, ఇఫ్ లైక్ వెన్ యూ డూ ఇట్ ఇన్ ఇంగ్లీష్ నీకు వైడ్ రీచ్ ఉంటుంది, బట్ ఐ వాంట్ ఇట్ టు బీ ఇన్ తెలుగు, ఎందుకంటే ఓన్లీ ఇన్ యువర్ మదర్ టంగ్ యూ కెన్ బీ వెరీ ప్యూర్, రైట్ కదా. అంటే నువ్వు ఏం చెప్పినా, నువ్వు నీకు ఫిల్టర్స్ లేకుండా నువ్వు మదర్ టంగ్ లో తెలుగులో యూ కెన్ టాక్ టు యువర్ హార్ట్, అంటే నీ హార్ట్ అవుట్ మాట్లాడగలుగుతావు. సో దట్ వాస్ వన్ రీజన్. అండ్ రీసెంట్ గా నాకు ఒక ఫీడ్బ్యాక్ వచ్చింది అనమాట. నేను రీసెంట్ గా నా ఫ్రెండ్ కి ఎవరికో షేర్ చేస్తే, షీ వాస్ టెల్లింగ్ మీ, రేవంత్ లైక్ తను యుఎస్ లో ఉంటది. సో ఇట్స్ లైక్, అరే రేవంత్ నేను మొత్తం విన్నాను పాడ్కాస్ట్, బట్ ది ఓన్లీ థింగ్ దట్ ఒక ఫీలింగ్ అనేది వస్తుంది కదా, ఇఫ్ యూ కన్జ్యూమ్ ఎనీ కాంటెంట్ యూ టేక్ సంథింగ్ అవుట్ ఆఫ్ ఇట్. ఆ ఫీలింగ్ ఏంటంటే, ఐ వాస్ ఫీలింగ్ వెరీ హోమ్లీ రా.
True. The same US thingy, my friend who stays in US, whenever I send her a comic I made, అరే తెలుగులో చదివినప్పుడు అంతా నాకు ఎంత ఎక్సైటింగ్ ఉంటుందో తెలుసా అంటది. That is something, I don't know, అది మన బుర్రలో అలా ఉండిపోతుంది.
Yeah, so that's the connect. So Raaga, so I like give you four things to keep in mind if someone is planning to start their freelance career.
Quitting something and starting a freelance career, right?
Right.
So I might come across like I'm advising, but then this is what I also did. So first point is, like, take it for granted that you will not get money as soon as you jump in. There will not be like constant inflow of money in the first month. and there will be so many ups and downs financially. One month you might have a lot of projects, another month you might have nothing. Understand that is going to happen until you stabilize in the market. So adi see, you jump off, then you think you will get a lot of projects and money. First month lone raledanko, you'll get disappointed. So to overcome that, first start with the notion that you might not get money instantly.
Right.
Another thing is financial planning. So before you start freelancing, maybe make some savings. If you're quitting your job, wait for a while, make proper savings. Also see that you have a roof over your head, like I said, and also understand if there are people dependent on you, then money is the most important. So until you plan plan at least your near future for yourself and the person dependent on you, don't jump into it. And another one is normally when we start freelancing, whatever field it may be, మనకు స్టార్ట్ చేసే ముందు we do some research చేసినప్పుడు we look at different things and we'll like a lot of things, so we'll acquire a taste looking at them. అరే చాలా బాగుంది, or I would do it better than this అని you'll think. That is only your taste. Then your skill, which is not already very great because you're starting out now, you might not have much experience on it. So nee skill ki nee taste ki madhalo you'll have a gap, and because of that gap you'll become very critical of your work. It's not that you are not doing great, it's just that your skill needs to be polished, so that if you can understand, you'll not be hard on yourself. And another thing is understanding the market. So like I normally say, I accidentally understood the market, but then if you can do it consciously, that's really great. See what kind of audience you're trying to cater to. It's great to not have boundaries. Antam kada, I want my products to work globally ani, that is great, but then I would say first cater to your near market, your regional market or your country first, then jump internationally, because it's easier for you to understand this market, and experience too, you will be able to understand my MBA brain is talking, I'm sorry, but then yeah, you'll be able to understand international market also appudu. Like normally any startup ki what they say, any entrepreneurship ki what they say is find a gap that is there in the society. Edo oka problem pick cheskoni solve that antaru.
Right.
But then it's not same for everyone. Like for us, what gap is art going to fill that it didn't fill earlier? So there are a lot of people filling the same gap kada. So that is where I found my regional market. So regional languages work great social media mida. I started making them in Telugu. This is again trial and error method. Nobody can write it on paper and give. That you have to see what works for you, what doesn't work for you. Keep your mind clear for a while, experiment for a while, then you'll understand what your audience are liking, then you will go do that.
Right. Yeah, it was very insightful, Raaga, and I hope our listeners will find it very insightful too.
Thank you.
On that note, thank you so much for your time, and I'm looking forward for your new doodles and new art on your Instagram. Okay,
Thank you so much. Yeah.
so that's for the episode 16. Thank you so much for listening, guys. నేను మిమ్మల్ని నెక్స్ట్ వీక్ కలుస్తాను. Until then, stay safe and stay productive. Thanks, guys.